got to be careful what you ask for, because you don't know everything else that comes with it.
Yeah. And how true is that statement? You got to be careful what you ask for.
Super true, especially recently. I've been saying forever that my dream role, even before we lost her, would be to tell Whitney Houston's story in some capacity. And when the Bobbi Christina biopic came out, I got that opportunity. And I was super happy. I was really excited. Finally get to do this. But then a few days into filming, the weight of it all settled in. The responsibility settled in. The eyeballs that were going to be on me settled in. And that's when I was like, okay, I might have played myself. I better do this right. I better do this right.
So how did you pull it all together though? How did you not become too weighed down on it?
I accepted it as an opportunity to pay homage to her. And I accepted her presence there. You know, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I think I can speak for everybody. We felt them both there. They were not playing. They were like, if you're going to tell this story, you're going to do it the right way. I'd go home and Bodyguard was playing. What? Okay, I'm walking in the store, Whitney's playing on the radio. I'm talking to my mother, she's watching Power, didn't know she watched Power, and the girl is starting to sing I Will Always Love You. Or what? I was surrounded by her all the time. And then the transformation, you know, losing the weight, learning to smoke, putting on the teeth, tanning, everything that I had to do to be in her world. It required a lot, but I think that because I had been asking for it so long, I had to do my due diligence.
Did you feel the pressure that Whitney felt as being this superstar and just like almost no privacy in the terms of her social life and what she was doing? Did you feel that, did you connect to that?
Absolutely. You know, even though I wasn't her playing her, the criticism that came before anybody ever saw it, the eyeballs that were on the film itself without ever having screened anything, the attitudes that were taken before anybody gave it a chance to even speak for itself, you know, it was a lot. And I'm sure she read a lot of it to a certain extent. So I had to read it. I had to understand what it was like to be judged, whether you did or didn't. I had to understand the amount of love that people had that automatically turned into this ownership of her, which I think is part of what caged her in so much, to where she did do some of the things that she did, and why she connected to Bobbi Chris even more so than just her daughter, but as a best friend, as somebody who just genuinely loved all of her, not just her voice, not just her look, her. Yeah.
Now, there are artists, up and coming artists, who would love to have that sort of recognition. But now that you have felt it, and probably at one point you probably felt the same way, but now that you have played this, how do you look at being that, you know, you can't even walk into a quick trip without people pulling out the cameras or stopping you or whatever? I mean, how do you look at it now compared to before? Because you're tasting a little bit of it now, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think that the way that I look at it now is just remembering the humanity of it. You know, before, when I was looking at people like Whitney Houston, like Beyonce, you know, these people who have this mega stardom, it's like, oh, I want that, but now I have such a respect for it. And I take the time. I take the time to have me time. I go to those places with my hair not, you know, when I walked in, my hair was pulled back, honey. It's not what people have seen me as, you know. When I can dress down, I take those moments, you know, and I just really relish in them a little bit more than I used to. But I've also come to the appreciation that along with everything I've been asking for comes that. And I don't think anybody really prepares themselves for that. And I'm trying my best to prepare myself as much as I can.
And staying in contact with family, friends, because I know you have a son.
Yeah.
You know, I know this has been a busy year for you. How have you been able to carve out time for them? Because when, you know, mom starts to disappear, you know, kids can
waver.
Yeah.
That part has been hard. The filming schedule with Bobbi Chris, with the album Officially Yours, with the single and all the promo I had to do with that, with Superstition, which is coming out October 20th with Mario Van Peebles. the return of saints and sinners. It's been a really hectic year, and I'm grateful that my son is of age now. He's 18. So he's looking for that independence along with me having to kind of give it to him. But the communication that we still have is awesome. You know, we talked a little bit before. He's still asking me for money. he still thinks he's my dad. You know, where you at? Checking on you. What you wearing? That's too short. Change. You know. So we're still very much connected. But I think that began before all this did, and that's why we're still so stable now.